Alright, so hey guys, so welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're gonna take a quick look at our newest sniper rifle that was released with update 25, the Komorex. Now, first things first, if you want to get your hands on the Komorex, you will first have to research it in the energy lab in your dojo. And once that's done, to build the weapon, you have to put in 20,000 credits, 5 field drone, 6,200 ferrite, 300 hexenon, and 1 Forma. The Komorex is a mastery rank 8 primary sniper rifle that does 87 damage per shot, 41.8 is slash, 36.5 is puncture, and only 8.7 is impact. Now, unlike many other sniper rifles, the Komorex isn't focused on crit, and it focuses on status instead, so it sports the lowest crit chance out of all the sniper rifles at 16% with a 2.1 time crit multiplier, and the highest status chance at 35%. It also comes with a pretty sizable 20 round magazine, though the ammo reserve isn't that great. At only 40 rounds, it can fire up to 6 rounds per second with pinpoint accuracy at least once you're zoomed in, and it has a terrible 3-second reload time. Now, before some of you go, a status-based sniper rifle? Next! Bear with me a moment, because this weapon is actually pretty cool. So, just like any other sniper rifle, the weapon is horrifically inaccurate when you're not scoped in. But once you do zoom in at the 2x zoom, you will get 50% reduced recoil, so the weapon is very stable, and you also get 2 meters of punch through. However, once you jump to the 3.5x zoom, the weapon gains 100% of its base damage as a viral explosion with a 3-meter radius, and you lose 75% of your fire rate. Though, buyer beware, if you're zoomed in all the way, it does do self-damage. Now, the setup I ended up liking the most in the end requires 3 Forma with 2 Vs and a dash, and I did actually end up scaling crit, so it's a hybrid setup. So the mods are Serration for damage, then Split Chamber for multi-shot, followed by Point Strike and Argent Scope, which makes the crits pretty reliable. Then we have Vital Sense to bump up the above average critical multiplier, and then we have Infected Clip, Malignant Force, and High Voltage for high corrosive damage and status chance. Though this is mostly for Grenier and sometimes Infested, so for the Corpus and Infested as well, I have Malignant Force, Thermite Rounds, and Infected Clip for a crap ton of gas. Though this is of course not the only way you can build a weapon, there's actually quite a lot of stuff you can do with it. It's very flexible, which is why I like it, so feel free to experiment. Okay, some people often think that I'm some kind of a higher entity that just commands builds onto people and you can only like my build, but no, I'm just showing you the build that I personally like the most, so feel free to try it out, and if you don't like it, that's fine. And the 2 builds that I thought about personally, but I ended up not doing them because I wasn't really feeling the way they were going, was this one, which is very similar to what I'm doing, but it focuses on viral and it's using Fanged Fusilade to boost the slash. And this one, which ignores crit completely, and it sort of doubles down on the elemental damage, so you have Stormbringer and Infected Clip combined with High Voltage and Malignant Force for an insane amount of corrosive damage, and then you have Primed Cry Rounds for a ton of cold damage, and Vigilante Armaments for some extra multi-shot. But anyway, the corrosive version of the build that I ended up choosing is just really good versus the Grenier and the Armored Corrupted. And it pretty much one-taps Sword Heal of a Grenier once you get Argent Scope up, because at that point your crit is very reliable and you're gonna crit on basically every shot. And unsurprisingly, the same thing will happen to the Infested as well. Though most of the time, for the Infested, I do prefer the gas setup, because the amount of AoE tick damage you can get from a crit headshot is ridiculous. Though you have to be kind of careful not to proc it on yourself, because it really hurts. And finally, we have the Corpus, where the gas setup is just hilarious. The damage. Oh, the damage. It's so good. And now we come to the conclusion. So what do I actually think about the Komorex? Well, I am conflicted, my dear viewer. On one hand, I hate the terrible reload time. I am not a big fan of self-damage, and you probably know that if you watch my videos. And the fire rate when you're scoped in all the way is just really low. But on the other, I am really happy with the way they tackled a status-based sniper rifle, because when I first saw the stats, I went, oh boy, here we go again. But it's actually pretty good. I like it. And I'm overall leaning more towards liking it than disliking it. Because even though I'm not a big fan of self-damage, it is a sniper rifle, so you're mostly going to be shooting at things that are pretty far away, and the projectile flies straight ahead too, so there's no fall off, it's not bouncing around, so it's overall much harder to actually hit yourself with it. And even though the reload time is pretty damn bad, the 20 round magazine makes it, well, not as bad. So all in all, I'm gonna give the Komorex a thumbs up. It is just a cool and unique sniper rifle, and you should definitely check it out. And that is pretty much all I wanted to say, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.